How you doing, guys? You're now watching the Growing Up Italian podcast with my guys over here. I'm Tony Dabas, and if you got a problem with what I got to say, come over here.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian. Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
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 Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
Woo!
Yeah, so what's going on, man? How's it driving from Staten Island?
Oh, man. It's, to be honest with you, drive from Staten Island was good, but the traffic was really like Williamsburg. Like, as soon as you hit that bend by Hamilton,
it's over.
just, everybody gets stupid.
Yeah. Then it goes too long. I do that drive to Staten Island a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like an expert.
Oh, you go to Staten Island a lot?
Yeah.
It's great over
You love it?
I love it. Once you look past the racism and the segregation, it's got some of the
It's not so bad.
It's got some of the best pizza around. It's the truth. But the racism is baked into the slice. I mean, Italians are great. Bro, Staten
Wait,
Island.
you're not. Let's get this off the record. You're
No,
not
no,
Italian,
no.
right?
So technically, I honestly don't identify as anything. I identify as an Italian, all right? My pronouns, I forgot about it.
We do that with nationalities now. We identify it.
This is the thing. I'm actually Arabic by ethnicity, but my mom was born out of 9. My father was born out of 3. And they my dad's side kind of married into the Arabic culture still, but like my mom's side, one went Spanish, one went Italian. It was just all over actually, even in my dad's side, it's an Americanized Arab family. So like growing up, I was kind of like, I'm 9 years old on Staten Island. I moved into this neighborhood. Everybody there is Italians. One guy's Russian, one guy's Spanish. So it's kind of like a melting pot. But the closest people I got close with were Italians and even like a Jewish family. So I was raised by like Spanish, Italian, Jewish. So like
You went with the money. Let's just be really.
To be honest with you, I went with whoever treated me right. I don't even give a fuck about it.
Whoever had the meatballs, basically.
Yeah. No, but the Italian, yeah. No.
So you identify as Italian.
To be honest with you, I kind of like. I speak Arabic. I speak Spanish. I speak a couple, words in Russian, Greek.
What words in Russian?
I know like как дела, хорошо. Как дела is like.
What does that mean?
What is like cocktail is like how you doing in Russian, but I can.
Cocktail.
No. This guy sounds like Ali G trying to do right. He's like cocktail.
He's trying to be Lil Mo in
That's
Russian.
hilarious. How you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, but the accents, everything, every culture, anyone could speak a language. Languages are not hard if you can do if you understand. I almost went to China. Because like I was in love with the Chinese culture. I went to be a kung fu master, and I was learning
That's
Chinese.
That's Staten Island that you're talking right now.
Huh?
Everybody from Staten Island thinks they're like a ninja.
Karate kids over here.
No. But like I was like my uncle is Chinese through marriage, so like I grew up with like Chinese cousins, and I was like interested in kung fu, and like when I was 300 pounds back in the day. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah, I'll show you a fucking picture. Hold on. This was
How
me.
long ago was that?
This was when I was like 18, 19
So
years
you
old.
went to sumo then?
This was me.
Unit.
Wow. See this?
I didn't know that, bro. Can you send us that picture?
handsome guy.
I'll send you that picture. Yeah,
Still so handsome.
That
was your high school senior picture.
So I was 18. So like let's go back from when I first moved to Staten Island. How about that?
Yeah.
This is when I was 9 years old. I moved to Staten Island. I was a
What
Brooklyn.
part of Staten Island, by the way?
I moved to Huguenot.
Okay.
Which is like
That's
the
all the way
Italian
south.
Yeah, so like
South
once you
Shore.
cross over Victory Boulevard, that's when you start getting the forget about it territory. You think over there?
I don't go that deep.
No.
I'm all.
Where?
I'm all like right there by the Highland Boulevard exit.
Oh really?
That's
Wow.
where I spent a lot of time there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. My kids grew up there.
Go get.
My kids live there.
Well,
yeah.
it's weird because Staten Island has pockets of like Italians everywhere. It's like in
But
Toad
there's
Hill.
There's a lot of Italians.
I love Toad Hill area. Yeah, when I moved to Staten Island, I was like 9 years old. I moved next to this like in this neighborhood, and like there was like a lot of mafioso like people around.
A lot of how you doing.
So I grew up. I gravitated towards that environment. So I was kind of raised by like degenerates in a way, and then like my dad, on the low used to smoke weed. And,
Well, I could see that in your content that you're like hanging around degenerates.
Yeah. I was really the guy who actually gave me a shirt was like one of those guys. So like when I put it on and I fucking put
You got power when you put it on?
Huh? Where's the I put the shirt on that I do and I put the glasses.
Wait, you just put the glasses raw dog in your pocket like that?
Yes, I studied.
You're on the wild side.
Is that Tony Walnuts?
I put these glasses on now.
You just
Now
become
all
a
of a sudden, I
character.
say, who's this jerk off operating the switchboard, huh? I don't like the way the fucking guy looks. Do me a favor, get this guy the fuck out of here, all right? Fucking.
Do you have a name for this character right now? Like when you.
To be honest with you, originally I started this character. He was called Frankie Zucchini. All right, the guy's name. Because hey, why'd you name Frankie Zucchini? They call me Frankie Zucchini because back in Brooklyn I murdered a guy with a zucchini. All right, I was never indicted or prosecuted because I ate the evidence, never held up in court. All right, they could never pin it on me. But that's besides the point.
You're allowed to talk about it?
Frankie Zucchini like cleans the best driveways I've ever seen. The technique when you
When I'm
that
growing
right
up-
there.
No, because like growing up, like I was like this 9-year-old kid, and it's like living next to these people, and I just like remember like I was 9 years old. And my Uncle Paul, he's like, Tone, what are you doing with your life, huh? Why don't you go open a business, do something with yourself?
9 years old.
I'm like 9 years old. So like I started thinking like because you know it's funny because like everyone, I was unfortunately a criminal. I'm like a criminal and a con artist. That's what I was early on. I'm dead serious.
Again, I could see it in the content.
Dead serious. People like, yo, you're hilarious. I'm like, honestly, I'm a fucking criminal. Watch your pockets. Check your wallets when I leave. No, I'm kidding.
Mine's somewhere around.
No, but like growing up, like I remember like my Uncle Paulie, he's like, Don, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing math homework. He's like, Don, come with me. I'm going to teach you math. He used to take me to like, he owned the restaurant. He took me to what's it called? Restaurant Depot, right over here in Brooklyn. We walked inside. He's like, Tone, how much is this mozzarella? I'm like, $5. He's like, put one in your pocket. He's like, how much is it now? I'm like, $2.50. He goes, I just taught you division. And like, it was that type of person. Like he used to use me as like a shoplifting like mule, like a drug mule. I was chubby.
An innocent 9-year-old kid.
I was like chubby and
Wear your hoodie. It's not.
so when I was 13 years old, I was like, Dad, I was always an entrepreneur. At first, I used to create like fake letters and I would go around to different neighbors. I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but I would pretend that I created this charity. I'm like, every dollar I raise helps keep a kid alive for, you know, whatever. And next thing you know, I made like thousands of dollars a month doing this. And I'm like, I know this is bad, but like, I was
terrible.
also acting. You know what I mean? I figured these rich people in Staten Island had a lot to, you know, it was only taking like $15-20 from each person. But it was like, okay, people believe what I do. So then I started selling ice cream started selling ice cream in my backyard. I bought a freezer from Costco. I bought candy, ice cream, all that shit. Next thing you know, I'm making $1,000 a week selling ice cream to all the community pools in my neighborhood.
1,000 here, 1,000 there.
No, I'm making a lot of money as a kid. So now the ice cream man was the Ralph's Italian ice guy, this guy Rob. He's like, Tone, you're taking all my business, you fucking scumbags, fighting with me. I'm like 13, 14 years old. And next thing you know, he's like, why don't you come drive the truck? Gave me a key to his fucking ice truck. Now I'm fucking young, smoking weed, driving this ice truck. I was making thousands because I was just, you know, taking off the top. That's what we did on the ice cream truck. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? You know, some of this stuff, you know. Listen, but comedy stuff's coming into it. So then I started doing that, and I was making thousands of dollars a week. At this point, I'm making $3,000, $4,000. I was the best ice cream man that ever did it. It got so bad. I was selling so much ice that the Ralph's trucks actually had to, I was one of the reasons why they shut down. Because the stores complained to the owner that the trucks were making so much money in the business. So the Ralph's trucks sold out. They had to close down. Now I had no job. All I knew was ice cream, right? I was kind of doing comedy a little bit, being funny. And then I said, let me go to the soft serve guys. So the soft serve guys, I was always doing the soft serve truck. I had to work for the enemy. The soft serve and the Ralph's guys, they don't get along.
They got beef, right?
They got beef. That's a real thing. So now I'm back. I'm working for the Lickety Split guys, and I'm making all this money. And that's
Did
why
you say lickety split?
Lickety Split guys. Yeah. Actually, maybe we shouldn't use that. Maybe we should. You know what? Divert from this conversation. I'm getting off topic here. Is this getting off topic, or it doesn't matter? You can cut
I
off.
feel like it tells a story.
I just want to ask you something. What made you selling ice cream? Like, what was so good about you selling ice cream? Like, how were you the best guy selling ice cream?
I was the best because, first of all, I'm a funny guy, right? I'm a funny guy. I do all these impressions. I started off doing impressions and prank phone calls as a kid. So when I get on the route, I'm speaking Spanish. I'm like, ¿Qué pasó, primo? Helado, vanilla, chocolate, fres. I'm like fucking with the Mexican guys, then the Russian guys. I'm like, "Как дела, хорошо, primo?" I'm like, buddy, you want some ice cream? I have vanilla chocolate, And then the
How'd
Jewish,
you get the Italian guys?
the Italian,
Well,
listen,
yo.
the Italian guys love me. They thought, where you from in Italy? I'm like, come on, Joey, I'm from the North Middle East up there. Where they got the camels in Italy? I'm up there with the camels. Come on, shut the fuck up, all right, motherfucker. And then the next thing you know, it's so funny because these Italian guys, they're the easiest to rip off. Not to insult you guys.
Nice.
No, but like anybody who has that New York, I wouldn't even say Italian. I would say the New York. Because you could be Jewish, you could be Italian, you could be Arab, but you could have that New York, hey, how much? How much, pal? Because that's like a New York thing. I think the Italian accent is not so much Italian, but it's more of like a New York, Staten Island, Brooklyn thing, right? In a way, because like, look, I'm not an Italian, but I was raised around the shit. So you're kind of like a product. But those type of people grew up with that lifestyle. So when they say, hey, kids, what do you want to have? It's on me. When they say that, it's on me. And they got the money in the air, and they just like, how much,
You put an extra $20 on?
I just, no. If you overcharge, if you get 150 customers a day, you own a business, and everybody gets overcharged $1.50, $2, $3. People get overcharged all the time. They just never, people don't care about how much they pay. They care about how they feel about the transaction. So if you tell somebody, it's 40, just give me 35, here, take 40. Meanwhile, it's 30. You just overcharged them, and then he tipped you. You know what I mean? So then he's offering me plates of fucking barbecue. So who's the bad guy here? The guy's happy. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, everybody's got to eat.
So you're street smart. You grew up street smart. That's what it was.
That's the thing. So like,
Tony, you're not going to ask us to cut this out, right?
I don't give a fuck what you put on. Okay. Listen to me. It'll never hold up in court.
I have a feeling we're gonna have a beef about a shish kebab in 1997.
To be honest with you, listen, the truth is, like, it's 3 years ago, I had a heart attack.
Really?
I had a heart attack, and I was doing comedy when I was 22 years old. I got on a stage. Ice cream truck business is kind of the reason why I was making a lot of money or whatever. At like 22 years old, I got hurt. I dislocated my shoulder. Before wanting to do comedy, I wanted to be a kung fu master because I could do any impression. I could do an English accent. I start jumping into the English. I start doing this, and people are like, what is this guy? He's fucking doing this English accent. This guy's brilliant. I'm like, brilliant? I'm just schizophrenic, my friend. That's what it is here. I don't know who I am on the inside, which makes me be all these people on the outside. That's what I do. So I was doing these voices. I was jumping from English to Irish. Then the Irish, it's a very subtle, it's a twist. You start doing the Conor McGregor. You're like, who the fuck's this guy? Who the fuck is this? This guy's a fucking bollock. This guy's got bollocks in his pockets, And the thing about the Irish is you just got to stand there and look little geeked up like you've taken a shot of cocaine while you're filming that. What's that movie he did, Conor McGregor? What's the guy? What's that? The Roadhouse. Yeah, he was all geeked up on that one for sure. I had a line of coke. I had a nice line of coke. Anyway, you start doing these accents. Next thing you know, I'm like, yo, I want to be an actor. But I also love Kung Fu. So I'm like, I go to the Kung Fu school. I learned the Chinese and martial arts. My uncle, he was a Chinese. He said, Tony, you fat fuck, you need to exercise. Then I start doing the martial arts all the time. I work in the 8th Avenue over there. What's that 8th Avenue?
Bensonhurst?
My shifu.
I'm sweating right now.
I'm sweating.
Just watch it.
You're going a million miles an hour.
I know. I have no idea. Rock, did you expect this? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect this.
Let me tell you something. You've interviewed a lot of people.
Keep going.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm nothing like any of these people. I'm autistic. People are like, yo, Tony, you're brilliant. I'm like, honestly, I was in special ed my whole life. This is a form of savant. This is, you see how those...
To do what we do, like, does require a certain level of...
If you see my car, it's literally all over the place. People are like, what is this? You living in this thing? I said, no. This is creativity right here. This is how it forms. It's like a diamond in the rough.
What do you have, like all outfits in
Just
there?
everything. The fucking looks like I'm trans. And there you go. And there you got some wigs. You see this? You see that? Like,
I've never seen you wear wigs.
I'm going to start. It's never too late.
It's never too late. Never say never, baby. Wait, so where does all the languages help you out with Kung? How does that help you out with Kung Fu?
So, no. So I had a dream before I knew about, because I never knew about comedy. I never knew stand-up comedy existed. All I knew was Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, and all these guys were actors. And I seen these guys in the movies, and they're doing all this shit. And I'm like, this is amazing. I love these guys. I want to, but what if I did like Kung Fu and I was in, because I used to do like, I'll show you, like I used to do kicks and I'm very like flexible with that stuff. I can throw kicks and shit. And I said, what if I went to China, did this Kung Fu program? I'd be mad tough because obviously I got bullied as a kid.
Go formaggio, Italian cheese, the way it's meant to be. These artisan wraps are stuffed with fresh mozz. Fresh mozzarella, the way it's meant to be. Taste the formaggio difference. Available at ShopRite, Key Food, Hannah Ford, Costco, Sam's Club, and Walmart. Get formaggio today. What's up, guys? It's the Growing Up Italian Boys. And if you have an ancestor that was born in Italy, you may be eligible for dual citizenship.
Listen, the Italian passport has a 100% success rate in helping people obtain their Italian citizenship, like I have right here, from the very start of the process up until the end with the final application.
You can check for eligibility at theitalianpassport.com/growingupitalian. If you mention us, you might get a little discount.
But yeah, they used to fucking call
That's
me.
first cut we got so far, which
that-
isn't bad considering everything you said so far.
By the way, were you dropping these kicks as a big dude?
I was a fucking, hold on, I got a funny picture actually. I was throwing it.
We need that video, yeah.
Hold on, I have a funny ass picture of me as a fat. No, like these are some, like I throw some nasty kicks, bro. Like,
Oh, yeah, you're flexible. For
yeah,
sure.
bro. I used to.
You don't even see that.
Huh? You
Yeah,
didn't
you
see-
can't even see that coming. That's some
you can't
Tekken
even-
shit.
you
Wait,
can't
that's
s-
you?
That's me. Yeah.
You
It's
kick
so
pretty high.
that was I was in love with the Kung Fu culture and like that, like, you know, my grandmother, I was learning Chinese. Ni hao ma,
Are you
hi.
sure you just want to learn how to speak with a Chinese accent?
No, I was learning actually. So the phonetic system of the Chinese, I do a lot of accents, and people, they're like, oh, you're not afraid to get canceled? You get canceled if you're not aware of the culture. I'm Arabic. I speak Spanish. I speak some Russian, some Greek, some Hebrew. I learned
Some Italian.
Some Italian. You know what I mean? I gotta start learning Italian. My grandmother, she telling me all the time, this gatton, he's not Italian. He's not Italian. I don't know. I can't do an Italian accent.
That's like Italian American.
It's
but
terrible.
Yeah, that's good.
But so like the Kung Fu stuff, where was I? Yeah, the Kung Fu stuff. I said to myself, if I can become like a Kung Fu guy, it'll be easier to sell me as an actor, right? Imagine this actor that's doing all these kicks and stuff. That was going on in my head. Right before I ended up going to the Kung Fu school, and I had my uncle, who's very like good friends with this dude who travels. He went to go check the school out and all this stuff. Next thing you know, I was about to go in. There were $25,000 for 5 years, which is cheap. 5 years to spend in China. I come back, I would have been like 26 years old. I would have been a Kung Fu master. This
Would
is what I
have
wanted
been
to do.
Tony Chan.
Bro, I want to have been the Chinese Bruce Lee. How you doing? Long time no see. This guy's got his social security card in the back. I'm robbing this guy for sure.
gets that all the
Take a picture of that for sure. You showed the wrong guy that information. I'm kidding.
He just told you he was a master
I got a
schemer.
punch card in my. I got one of those like credit card scamming machines. I'll fucking punch a card right now. Fucking make a credit card. I'll buy everything. No,
This is crazy.
I'm kidding. But
Yeah,
seriously,
I'm sure
check
you're
it out.
kidding,
No, I'm
yeah.
kidding. No, I'm honestly like
How many coffees do you have a day?
just one espresso.
Yeah?
When I wake up, now I'm kidding. This thing just does enough. I don't know what Starbucks puts in it. Like, I'm a bad Arab. They're like, oh, you're drinking Starbucks. You're Arabic. I'm like, listen, relax, all right? They're not gonna fucking see my cappuccino and be like, you know what? This guy didn't buy cappuccino today. Stop bombing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna happen. Cut that out too.
Wait, so Kung Fu, trying to be an aspiring actor.
Okay, yeah. So I got hurt. I dislocated my shoulder. I went to
Rock is doing a great job keeping
I
you
love
on
this
the
guy. He's
track.
great.
Yeah.
So I went to this guy Brian Mabry, who actually passed away, unfortunately. He owned this company called Step in the Stride. It was like a physical therapy, big facility, whatever, in Brooklyn. I started working for him. I wanted to go do physical therapy, but I didn't have insurance at the time. For some reason, I didn't have insurance. It wasn't plugged in. So now I'm like upset. I'm depressed. My shoulder popped out. I ended up going to this guy and working out a deal with him. So I said to myself, hey, I want physical therapy. I can't afford it. He goes, how about this? Why don't you come in? I'll give you a job, work as a physical therapist, and then make some money, maybe pay for the lessons. So I ended up working as a physical therapist assistant to become knowledgeable about how to fix myself. Then I ended up learning how to fix myself. But in the process of working there, this guy was like, dude, you're hysterical. the way you imitate your father, talking about fucking your mother and all this crazy shit. You should be a comedian. Yeah, because I remember I was telling him this story about my dad, and my dad was like, I remember like my dad, I was like, my dad used to come in the house, Tony, what is this? This is from your mother's side of the family. Everybody have very big shawarma way, you know. And I was like, the guy Brian's like, you should be a comedian. So he showed me Eddie Murphy Raw. I watched that. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So 22 years old, I'm like, I was blown away. I was like, oh, I could do this. So I went to the Village Lantern in Manhattan. I remember being on shows with like Sam Morril and Mark Norman right off the bat. And I was like, started like doing it. My first day at Laughing Buddha, I fucking had a 5-minute set. And I remember one of my jokes was like, I have a bad shoulder. So the doctor was telling me, he's like, doctor, tell me to do internal rotation, external rotation, back and forth, and it's going to fix the shoulder. And I said, Doc, I've been doing the internal, external rotation all the time. It's not working. He's like, don't you have to go for more than 45 seconds at a time? It's like a corny little joke about jerking off and coming and whatever. So I was like doing these jokes. I was doing jokes about Arabs, whatever. I killed it. I was like, yo, I could do this. So then I started doing comedy all the time. And I was doing really well. I was crushing and then bombing. There was no confidence in like how the show was going to go, but I was talented. You could tell I do impressions. You could tell I'm on stage as a Spanish
This is
guy.
like very early on.
Yeah. I was 2013. Started comedy, stand-up. And I was doing it. I was a little arrogant. I thought at 25 years old, I was going to be a multimillionaire. I was going to be loaded. I was going to be famous. I met this kid, Rami Youssef, at 2015. I think it was 2015, 2016. We were on a show together at the Comic Strip Live. I had murdered that show. Great. Obviously, for me, I work off of energy. I was at that point as a comedian where I was doing like 10 minutes, maybe at the most. And I had no confidence when the jokes don't hit right. But when the jokes are hitting right, I ride the wave, and sometimes I crush hard. So I had a really exceptional set. It was a Comic Strip Live, 200 people, sold out show for the Arab Comedy Festival. Rami Youssef, I don't know if you guys know who that is. He was actually on, he's a Golden Globe winner. He's a fucking amazing actor, very talented comic, multiple HBO specials. Who was a nobody at the time. Not nobody, but like he was not who he was today. I remember just being an arrogant comic. Just like, I remember getting his number, but I was so consumed with my life and just being all over the place. I was a pothead. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I kind of just ignored him. I didn't even not ignored him, but I kind of like didn't even hit him up. He gave me his number. I took his number. Didn't even think anything of it. I didn't even watch his set that day. Next thing you know, I left comedy in 2018. Was doing one-off shows. I kind of quit because I was a coward. I was bombing so much I couldn't get it right. But I was growing up in the business. I was doing really well. Sometimes I was opening for like guys like Tony Roberts, Melanie Camacho, which was a big comedians in the black circuit, in the hood circuit, in like the urban rooms. That's where I originally started doing mad comedy. I was doing shows with Ray Dijon. I was open for all these big black comics. And I knew I was funny, but I just didn't have the confidence I have now. I left comedy 2018. I was doing one-off shows here and there, just mad one-off shows. And then, well, at the same time, I was working with my brother Nick, who's a director of photography. He's big in the business now, like starting to come up into Hollywood, making like commercials for Nike, Bloomingdale's, and all that shit. And he's doing really well now. But at the time, I was like, yo, I do all these impressions. I do all this stuff. Maybe I can try to sneak into the comedy business, the comedy world through my brother. But then I worked with my brother, and I was like, yeah, I'm just this bitch that's on set. It's getting ordered around everywhere by my brother Nick, who was treating me like a jerk off because he's a little bit of a fucking dick, you know, internally. But actually, you know, I'm thankful to have a brother like my brother because my brother's straight edge. He's a genius. He owns a fucking multi-million-dollar production company, and he's doing some sick shit. So like my brother's hard work, no pot, no drinking, like military, because I don't know if you guys know people from the movie business, but camera guys and film producer people in that business, everything is very expensive. Sets cost $2 million a day on a regular. So when you're
to be on point,
it's very on point. No fucking around. Everything's expensive. Everything's dangerous.
You need to get the shot.
People can get hurt, you know, and I was this dickhead, just comedian. So I was working with my brother. I was like, yo, 3 years ago, I took an edible. I had a heart attack. Fucking died in the hospital.
Legitimately.
Legit heart attack. Cracked my fucking chin on the floor in my house. I took an edible that was laced with fentanyl.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Yep, it was a punch bar. And I had bought it from some kid in the neighborhood, wasn't from a dispensary. Died in the hospital. Actually, I woke up in my bathroom butt naked. Dead serious, butt naked. My dick was all shriveled up, looked like a fucking little fucking shrimp. It was so small. It was so embarrassing. I was thinking about it at the time. Like, look at all these people looking at this little dick. I mean, I got a decent sized shawarma. I mean, it's decent. It's almost 7, but this thing was like the transformation this thing does.
So you're a grower, not a shower?
I'm a grower. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, you know what I'm saying? Pound for pound, the transformation this thing does, it's unbelievable. Should be in the Guinness World Records.
Spectacular. Give me 14.
So my brother, I remember waking me up and shaking me, and I was bleeding all over my face. I was all fucked up. And the next thing you know, I fucking black out again, and now I'm on the stairs, and I'm going down head first on a stretcher, bleeding off my face. But I remember my brother looking like, saying like as a joke, still crack it, because my brother's hilarious. My brother's mad funny, like naturally. And he's just not even a comedian. He's just like a fucking funny guy. But like, he goes to me, look at his little ass, shriveled, eeled looking dick. He's like, look at your dick, look like a little shriveled eel. He's joking around with me at the time. So now I'm going down the stretcher and I'm getting nervous. And I'm like, the one woman who's holding on to me, she looked like she's fucking 300 pounds and could barely hold herself up. So I'm going down head first now on this fucking stretcher. I'm like, no. So I stop. I stop the whole thing and I say, wait. And the next thing you know, boom, blacked out again. I don't even know how I got to the hospital. I'm at the hospital. I wake up getting fucking defibrillated. Defibrillated, bro. Now I'm like, okay, now this is serious. Now I'm like starting to shake a little bit. I'm starting to get really nervous. I see all these wires on my chest. The doctor's, Tony, your heart. He's showing me this paper. He pulled out this paper. Let's see if I can fucking paper. And this is all happening very quickly, bro. He literally was like, it's just example. He's holding this paper to me. He's like, Tony, your heart. This is your pulse. The pulse thing. It just showed fucking flat for like 15 seconds. He goes, your heart stopped for 15 seconds, but the brain the heart can stop for 30 seconds. I'm sorry, 3 minutes without causing brain damage. So don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Wow. He goes, I noticed that you have I have a heart condition called Mobitz 2 block, which is a irregular heartbeat. I have an irregular heartbeat that technically requires a pacemaker eventually in life. But for some reason, they think that I was going to be okay and I don't need it because they put me a Holter monitor on me. So long story short, I'm in the hospital. The doctor was about to make me sign a paper authorizing a catheter to be put into my neck. And they were going to put a temporary pacemaker in my neck. That I immediately told the doctor, I took an edible. They ran blood work. They saw what was going on. They gave me fluids and stabilized me because now they know it's a different thing. At first, they thought it was my heart. Then they realized I was drugged. And then I left the hospital that night just really like disappointed because my parents found out I took pot. My parents like traditional Arab family in a way where they're like, Christians. My mom's a fucking, between me and you guys, like my mom is like super Christian, never done nothing wrong. My dad in the past smoked weed. I think he's kind of straight edge now, but my dad in the past, he fucked around with women. He smoked weed. I had conflict. My mom's like, Tony, you have to be a good Christian like your father. Meanwhile, my dad's smoking weed and watching porn in the living room. You know what I mean? So, like, that's where the humor comes in when my comedy is so... Wait until you see my stand-up, bro. Like, it's so diverse. It's nothing like my skits. It's just like everything. So that's that day forward, I got back into comedy. Immediately that week, I signed up for an open mic. I said, I am not throwing my life away anymore. And something happened chemically in my brain where I said, I got to go after this. Like, I'm 30 years old. The fucking Skolradas are popping off. All these people are popping off. I think the Skolradas were, I don't know if they were doing stuff 100%.
Yeah, 3 years ago, that's about right.
Yeah, they started doing things. All these people started doing things. I'm watching all these people I know that I came up with. Like, not came up with, but I just watching all these people. Actually, I seen Rami Youssef. And I'm like, yo, this fucking kid won a Golden Globe for a TV show. This kid told me I was funny. I got to go after this thing. It's not too late. So I immediately went back after it, and it was just different. I was getting on stage multiple times a night. As the time, every day that passed from that day I passed out and died, moving forward, I got more and more serious about comedy to where I was doing 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I went from selling tickets on the street like a jerk off again. I had to go bark.
Crispy, crunchy, savory, and sweet. Order what you want on Uber Eats.
Listen, guys, from now till the end of the year, December 31st, on the Uber Eats app, you go to Anthony and Son Panini shop, and you get a nice $25 off.
When you use the code Panini.
You gotta use the code Panini.
Terms apply. See app for details.
I started doing bringers. You know what bringers are? No. So it's comedy. You get fucking exploited a lot. You get manhandled. You get jerked around.
It's like being
opening
DJ. You got to bring a crowd to play.
It's a jerk off thing, bro. It's a fucking jerk off business because it's not a jerk off business. It's what it is. It makes you tougher. You want it, go get it. It's out there for you. Period. So I remember getting back into it and not being like entitled, not being the cocky prick I was when I started. More like humbled. Like, hey, I'm trying to prove myself. So I was
bringer.
Bringers. Like I started bringing 5 people doing the comic strip. I started 5-minute sets. I brought like 5 people, 15 people just to get a 5-minute set in front of like a really good crowd. But it was great because I was getting my confidence up immediately. First set back, murdered it. I have the set on YouTube. I'll send it to you if you want. It was for an all black and Latino crowd. And I was doing like that, my friend, no problem. My friend, me from the Bronx, okay? No problem. Me Dominican, my friend. And they were going crazy. Oh my God. Ah! You know, like, you know how like the Hispanic crowds laugh. My friend, these guys go Italian. These guys love me. Like, boom, boom, my friend, no problem. You know, like it was just crazy. And I was like, wow, this is insane. I got to get back into comedy. So I started going back at it, but it wasn't like before. Now it wasn't a hit or a miss. Now it was, I'm getting funnier and funnier and funnier. And when a joke bombs, I don't cower. The jokes used to bomb back in the day. Jokes still bomb today. I'll do a joke that will bomb, but then I'll murder for 3 minutes. And then I'll have a joke that doesn't hit right, and I got to counter for it. The confidence thing, you have to be able to control the crowd. Just because you have a joke doesn't hit. So like long story short, I went from doing 5-minute sets to now I'm doing 30 minutes. Opening for guys from SNL, performing at the King's Theater, I'm on tour next month with Mike Finoia, who doesn't have a tremendous social media following, but this guy's hilarious. Writes for Impractical Jokers, amazing comic, mad talented. It's gonna blow up one day. What I'm saying is like,
what made you start going like really hard on social media?
What made me go hard on social media is my dog 6 months ago got sick. He had a tumor, and it's my dog right here. It's my dog Spike. I'll send you a picture of that. But yeah, he was my baby. I love this dog, and my fucking dog Spike. He ended up dying a month ago. But when I got that news from the veterinarian, I was like, yo, this is crazy, bro. Like, I'm 33 years old. I've had hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's another thing. I made probably $300,000 in the stock market. When I died in the hospital, I still have the account. It was just worth like $4,000 up until like a month ago. Now it's starting to come back a little bit, but I put all my money in China. Go figure. I went all in on
can't make this shit up.
I went all in on China. I bought Neo stock.
Oh, me too.
Bro, I had $40K from the ice cream business. I was trading during the pandemic. I ended up turning $40,000. I'll send you screenshots into like $200,000. I almost got up to $300K. Then I started getting really silly. I started fucking playing options and this and that. Next thing you know, market started tanking. But when it started tanking, I woke up from that hospital. I said, I don't give a fuck. At that time, I didn't realize that the money was going to go down to $4,000. I would have taken it out. But I didn't even care. I said to myself, I am a millionaire in the making, mentally. I said, I have everything I need, God gave me, to make success. I don't need to steal no more. I don't need to be a criminal no more. I don't know what to do. And I don't. I turned a leaf. 3 years ago, I don't shoplift. I don't touch nothing. I never stole from anyone's house, though. I wasn't a thief. I never took money from people. I never took anything out of anyone's house. I used to just do like the skimming off the top thing, buy some sushi with the money. I used to buy like sushi, $30 here, $40 here, $300 here. You know what I'm saying?
$30 for sushi seems okay, though.
Yeah, I mean, listen. There was other guys that used to take hundreds of dollars, though. And that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? Cut that out. But between me and you, I used to take thousands of dollars. Cut that all out. no. But this is because there were guys, not me. There were guys, not me though. You know what I'm saying?
Cut that out.
Hypothetically, there were guys that were maybe
That
taking
you may have
may or
known.
may not have knew
Yeah.
that would have taken for $500 a day, sometimes even $1,000 a day. But those weren't. That wasn't me specifically.
So how did losing your dog make you start? Is that what you're gonna ask?
Fucking God. I'm such a
No, I was just trying to make it a line. So
when I do my skits, I'm so much more on point and like.
you're good, bro. You know, you're very passionate about
I'm
your
very
life.
passionate.
It's
about this
easy
stuff.
to do podcasts with comedians because
This is real.
You guys
go.
love to talk.
They just go,
You guys
yeah.
love to talk.
they're used to talking by themselves.
Yeah.
Like you said you could do a 30-minute set.
Oh, I could do an hour now.
So
Yeah.
that like doing this is like doing a set.
Yeah, this stuff is real for me. And I hate when people are like, "Oh, make me laugh." I'm like, bro, this stuff comes out naturally. You don't got to make anyone laugh. You just got to be yourself. I hate when people like make everyone laugh. Yo, just be yourself. You know what I mean? It comes out when it comes out.
Yeah.
But like the dog thing, I got really depressed about like, look, I had because the market, the money in the market, now I know why I was talking about the market. I had all this money and I lost it. I was feeling really upset. I could have taken care of my dog, but I didn't make the right decisions in life. So I said to myself, I'm going to focus. I'm going to really, 6 months ago, I said, I'm going to really go hard. I watched Nikki and JoJo. They're blowing up. Everyone's killing it. I'm like, I can do this. I just got to focus. So I started just
Collab videos with them you do is funny as hell.
Oh, they're great. I love those kids. It's funny because I've known them for so many years. We just weren't close. We've always known each other though. Like we worked at the same catering hall together for fucking Frankie.
Staten
Yeah, for Frankie from the Food Boss. I used to work for Frankie.
yeah.
I used to be Frankie's valet driver back in the day for the fucking Food Boss.
connected somehow,
How fucking
somehow.
crazy is that? Me and him used to be, and it's funny because like I owe all these people to my personality because I was so intertwined in that life and that world of Italian that I kind of essentially, when people say, "Oh, are you Italian?" I feel like I'm a little bit of everything because when I'm around Mexicans, I'm also Mexican.
You're a chameleon.
I'm like a Mexican guy. I'm like, ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo? Dos hamburguesas con queso, una ensalada, poquito aguacate, cebolla, and queso frío de blanco. I'm just like, immediately my brain just turns into a Mexican. And I'm like, it's just crazy. It's crazy because I look like I could be Mexican too. Like I put the fucking hat on. But yeah, so I said to myself,
What's in the bag?
Bombs. I got a bathing suit. I didn't know what we were gonna do. I said maybe we're gonna pull these fucking ginza.
It's the perfect time of year. Perfect time of year for that.
I got a little Dominican outfit. My thing. I tell you what I know.
Yo,
Okay.
you put that on, you look like Adam Sandler.
My thing.
For sure.
You do look like Adam Sandler.
I got my cung. My mother said that. They say I look like Adam Sandler. They said, officer, the cops pulled me over. I just immediately, officer, I'm so sorry. I was driving my Boston Terrier over here, and see, I actually was supposed to be a state trooper, but for some reason I did not pass the psychological exam. And I said to the psychologist, I said to him, I said, my mama said I could be anything I want. I said, Mama, I want to be anything. I want to be maybe a state trooper. Maybe I could be a speech pathologist. She goes, honey, why don't you just go with the state trooper? You see, I just came up with that all in the moment.
Tony Boucher over here.
I actually met Adam Sandler once before. No, I really met Adam Sandler.
Nice.
Yeah, but anyway, let's go back. Before we talk about the Adam Sandler story, I actually wanted to do the videos because I knew that I am holding myself back. I have everything it takes to make these videos. I was just, to be honest with you, insecure about the way I looked, insecure about the way I'm even now, I'm not in the best shape of my life, but now I'm not insecure about it no more. Now I'm kind of like, I know that like I go through like stages. Like 6 months ago, I was shredded. Maybe like 6 months. Yeah, 6 months ago, I was like kind of shredded. Like I'll send you a picture. You can fucking put it up if you need. But I'm just saying, like I went from like fat to like 6% body fat, kung fu kicks and crazy shit. But then my dog started getting sick, and I stopped caring about fitness. I just got right into like taking care of my dog, making videos. I just can't, because I was upset. When I lock onto something, I have something wrong with me where I just like, I'm all or nothing with stuff. So I say to myself, like, you have no idea. Like, I'm just getting started with this stuff. It's going to get even more intense. But like, I said to myself, I don't care about the gym no more. I don't care about anything. I need to make these videos. I need to get financially successful because I got to save my dog. So I started making videos to try to save my dog and make money and blow up or something. But my dog got worse and worse, and he fucking ended up dying, and it was sad, bro. And it still hurts me. And honestly, I'm just getting out of it. Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah,
man.
it sucks. But that's the thing. People don't even know. Like, these people are watching my videos. Hilarious, hilarious. This whole time, my dog was fucking dying, losing fucking 40% of his weight. I was cooking stuff for him. He wouldn't even eat lamb chops on his last day. And that's comedy, bro. Like, making people laugh. And then also going through, like severe depression and being sad and stuff. But I stopped caring about everything. I said, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there because who gives a fuck, bro? There's millions of people out there. Someone's going to like me for who I am. And that's what I started doing. And then now we are here where we are.
Yeah, it's real shit.
The one thing about your content that I love to see is that you have access to any job in the world.
Oh, man. I'm so connected with that stuff. It's kind of wild. I don't know how to explain it. I've just always been... I could actually thank the ice cream business for this. Ice cream business, the restaurant business. I've always been a job guy. I've never had a career, but I've had 75 jobs, maybe 100 different
You
jobs.
list some?
Yeah, I was 12 years. So like there was a scamming thing. I consider that a job. I didn't get a 1099, but I was making bread, son. I was on the union. You know what I mean? Stop playing with a real one out here. I was also grew up in the hood too. So like my vernacular, I could be Italian. I could pull up. Yeah, what's up? OG, you know what I mean? Like I just pull up. And I used to pull up on the ice cream truck with the fucking ice cream truck bouncing up and down, playing Tupac, rolling through the Toe Hill projects. And the one dude was like, yo, man, I normally rob some of these motherfuckers, but you's cool as a mother. You want me to Adam Sandler on some shit, you know what I mean? So I ain't gonna hold you, but you know what I'm saying? You all right. You know? So hold on. I was
We got that you were a scammer, ice cream.
I was valet guy, ice cream guy, Wendy's. I was a Wendy's cleaning guy. That was one of like the first jobs I had at like 13, 14 in a company where like I did that. Then they made a mistake. They put me on the fryer. And the fryer is where I got fat. I started stealing chicken selects, putting them in my pockets when they weren't looking, and just go and when in between the runs to get the fries from the freezer, I would stuff this thing in my mouth, the lint and everything. I was a sick kid.
The lint.
Is that a true story?
True story. Dead serious. On my mother. Look up my fucking 1099s. Yeah, so there was this.
No, but you would eat the chicken nuggets out of your pocket?
Chicken selects.
What's that?
I didn't go for the nuggets. The nuggets were cheap. Those were the fucking.
Chicken
selects were like the equivalent to a chicken strip. I used to, because I wasn't, like, I was so quick with it where I would just, like, actually, at first, yeah. So I would have these big puffy pockets, the Dickies pockets, because that was the uniform. Used to have to wear the black Dickies. Yeah. And I used to stick them in my pockets real quick. And then we'd have to make a run every like half hour to get fries out the freezer and dump fries in the thing. And when I went in the walk-in box, I would stick the chicken finger in my mouth and I would just swallow the thing.
Hey, yo.
One time, the fucking boss came in there and see me bent over eating chicken selects. And that's when he fired me.
Hey, get this guy out of here. He's eating all the chicken.
He caught me eating the chicken selects and fired me. That's what happened.
That's fine.
But yeah, I worked there for 6
Were you not allowed to like eat food?
No, but you're not supposed to be stealing. I was still stealing. I was stealing chicken selects. I was supposed to be paying for that. You're supposed to steal from fucking, but I would do it so quick he didn't notice. I had a problem with food. I used to spit on my food so nobody ate it. I was a sick man. I was sick.
I hate people that do that.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, like some kids used to like lick food so you wouldn't eat it.
Oh, no.
You never seen kids do that?
No, never seen.
So you guys had like a normal upbringing.
So I did that.
Spitting is crazy.
I know.
But I've seen people like.
But I was an Arab. It's normal. They spit on things. It's like it's gonna like a sochtak. It's like a thing the Arabs do. You never heard of that? The Italians. He's like, don't do that. Don't do that again.
No. But I've
Listen,
seen.
Pat, don't spit on my fucking couch. Fucking stupid.
No, it's okay. No, but I've seen people like lick food so somebody else wouldn't eat it.
I haven't done that in a long time. It's been at least a couple of weeks since I did something like that.
What was after Wendy's?
Oh, Wendy's. Then I worked at Mercedes. I was a guy that delivered hold on, it wasn't just Wendy's. So it was Wendy's. It was I worked at Wendy's, McDonald's at one point, I think. I worked at Jimmy John's. I was a Jimmy John's guy. Jimmy John's, real quick, real fast. They opened in Staten Island, a bunch of jerk-offs. Fucking opened a sandwich shop in Staten Island. They went right out of business. Fucking stupid fucks. Take that shit to Ohio. No, it's good sandwich, but not on Staten Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got
Rex
fucking Royal
Semolina.
Crown,
Yeah.
Phil and Chino. You got all these places. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. So they didn't last. I worked at I was a delivery driver for multiple pizzerias, multiple Chinese restaurants.
We're very excited to announce a long-term partnership with the Soto Gastronomia out from Australia. These guys got a really, really interesting restaurant concept where all their profits go to all these Italian charities.
DeSoto has a very interesting story. So they're first generation Italian Australians.
They're basically us in Australia.
DeSoto was created in their parents' and grandparents' honor so that they can pay their legacy forward. 100% of their proceeds goes to people in need, charities, and the arts.
DeSoto will be supporting us this year, so you know the content's going to be even better.
Bro, and who knows? Maybe at some point we're going to have to take a trip down under, huh?
I was always curious how the Italian Australians made food.
It's time we find out. You really have done it all.
No, but that's not it. It just gets more. I was the guy at Mercedes. I used to deliver the when you bought a lease, I would drive the car from Mercedes in Coney Island. I would take to their house, pick up the other lease, and then bring it back. But bro, I was driving AMGs. I was driving this fucking whipping around. I was having mad. I was sick. I was wearing a suit. I would come in like official and whatever. And the next thing you know, the boss was like a couple of cars. He's like, you know what? We have too many of these guys. I need a guy to do the porter. So now he switched me to be a porter. So now I went from being the delivery guy, the delivering cars guy, which was a cool job, to now the porter. To then he's like, yo, you got to take care of that raccoon in the backyard with the fucking shovel.
When you got here, you were looking for a raccoon. You're like,
Bro.
where's the fucking raccoon?
I had a problem with raccoons. I worked at the Ralph's truck and in the Ralph's store in what is that place called? Old Bridge, New Jersey. I worked at the Ralph's store there. I used to manage it. And that's when the truck shut down. I managed the stores for the guy Rob. And there was a raccoon problem back there. These raccoons used to wait for me to throw out the garbage and fucking linger around. So that's when my first fear of the raccoon began. So now I always keep that as part of a bit where I'm like, yeah, the fucking raccoons. Let me tell you something. Things like shit. I love doing that because like I start off like doing the voice, and I'm like, I'll like pull up to somebody. Yeah, buddy, you heard about the raccoon problem? The guy's like, what raccoon? Nah, this thing's big. Yeah. Nah, he's coming out of got out from the zoo. Yep. Yeah, this thing's like 60 pounds. And the guy's like, get out of here. Yeah, nah, this thing. Yeah, where'd they come from? This thing came out of Korea, believe it or not. Yep. They got raccoons out there. Yeah, these things. Yeah, but they're from North Korea. It's a little different. Yeah, that raccoon didn't come over here. You know, so like I'll fucking fuck with people with that stuff. For me, a lot of the stuff I do that I don't even record, I think is the funniest shit. But you can't even have a camera on everything. Just like fucking with people. But that was like.
Do you edit your own videos?
Yeah, bro. I'm mad quick with it. I'm like a savant with my brother is a fucking director of photography and an editor and all that stuff. So I was always around it. So I've always watched my brother assemble films and my brother's a master editor, but he's like legit. Like
when you edit something, like what's your process like? Do you really?
So I'll like, for instance, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I would shoot a video, let's say downstairs. I would shoot everything. I just run through the lines. I don't have lines. I just go through like the thing in my head. I see if we're doing a skit with 4 people, I can see your lines, and your lines. And if I can, without interruption, I can play everybody individually without stopping in my head. Similar to how autistic people, you're like, hey, there's a kid growing up. I'm like, how
many points is Stephon Marbury average in 2007?
Yeah, and then they'll tell you, blah, 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 blah. That's like my brain, how it works. It's like it's weird like that. I don't know how to explain it. But I would shoot a skit, but I worked with my brother I actually worked as a grip, as a first AC. I worked as a PA. I worked as a fucking driving instructor. I worked as a.
I feel a lot of people that
everything
are in content creation are similar though.
Yeah,
like we're sick for doing this.
Of course, bro. Well,
we should be like in a union job.
No, but you guys are very natural.
Talking to you,
you guys are very natural on here. You're very cool. Like you have good. Like some people are just overacting and like
you could tell the people that do it up though.
You know, I think a lot of people have the potential to be amazing actors. I honestly think I'm a director as well as an actor, because when I'm with people, like when I'm with JoJo and Nikki, when I'm with Anthony DeMonte, when I'm with all these people, I like, well, you know, everyone has their own style, but like I kind of like, you know, helping people find their best voice. Because sometimes people don't even realize that the best character is just being themselves. You know what I mean? So I try to always, that's my biggest thing. When I make skits with people, I want to make everyone look good. I don't want people to look bad. If someone asks me to make a skit with them, like people hit me up all the time.
That's such a Guido thing to say. You look good.
I just want them to look good. I want them to shine. I don't want to make anyone look bad. So I try to make everybody. I think the best type of acting, and look, this Adam Sandler is a prime example of that. He's the guy that I kind of love in comedy and love to like look at how he navigated in life. And I say to myself, I love those movies, how he brought all his friends up, and I kind of want to do something similar to that. But if you think about it, all he does is take guys like you, guys like you, guys like you, put them all in a part that they fit into, and just let them be themselves or something along that nature. And then that is the movie. Different personalities clashing together.
The same people over and over.
It's the same
protagonist, antagonist, overarching. I've read countless, like I'm a very educated, not like academically in college. Like I went to college for 3 years and I never graduated. And it was funny because it was a 2-year college. I should have really graduated. I don't know what happened.
Same.
I went to Kingsborough. I was supposed to be a cop.
Oh, yeah.
But then it was a conflict of interest.
Imagine him as a cop.
I knew way too many mob guys. I couldn't do it. I was like, yeah, I was going to fucking... The second I went in there, I would have got whacked. You know what I mean? If I don't, come on, I talked to you for a second. It would have been like the scene from fucking Goodfellas. Fuck him.
It's over there.
It's over there. Keep going, you know? That's why when I do the Italian mob guy, people are like, yo, you're so good at it. I'm like, bro, I literally... Like, I was around this stuff my whole life, you know? And to be honest with you, I thank them. I thank that lifestyle and that environment. It kind of bred me into like the animal that I am today, where it's like when I want something, I fucking attack it. When I'm in shape, when I'm trying to get in shape, I am eating better than anyone's eating. I'm cooking fucking meals out the wazoo. I'm running. Like I go hard on everything I do, but I've never locked on to comedy the way I locked on 6 months ago. And now it's like, forget it. I'm just locked on.
We should do a funny skit.
I'm down, bro.
Yeah,
we should.
We definitely will.
100%.
But I want to ask you, what made you not pivot, but cater to the Italian crowd?
To be honest with you, I don't
question.
I don't even cater to the Italian crowd. I cater to the New York crowd.
That's true.
If you think about it. Because
He's like a neighborhood guy, you know?
I'm like a neighborhood guy.
Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island.
You ever see the Jewish guys that are like do you ever see the Jewish Italian character I do? You got to watch that video, bro. It's fucking...
The glasses guy?
The guy that's like in the store, he's like, yeah, I can get you a polar bear. What do you need him shipped?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I can get you.
Yeah.
So that character, there's a lot of Jewish guys that I know in the Diamond District and stuff that are like fucking like real Jewish guys, but they sound like this. You know what I mean? They're like, Isaac, what's up with that guy for Rosh Hashanah? We need the deal happen. You know, like he's still that guy. He's like, you know, like
the same guy.
Where's the fucking glasses? I'm fucking.
Bringing the glasses again?
Hold on, where's my glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, what's going on, Isaac? What's up with the menorahs? Yeah, no, it's coming up. Hanukkah's around the corner. These fucking Jews are gonna be lined up down the block. Like you could say thing. I like the ability of embodying. As a matter of fact, I've always wanted to be somebody who brought people together. That's my goal. I don't give a fuck about politics. I don't give a fuck about religion. I am a Catholic by ethnicity and religion. I'm Catholic, my mom and dad, but I don't care what you are. If you're a good person, you're cool, you have good energy, that's vibe. I'm a New Yorker. New Yorkers are everything. We're all like you see those guys like New York Nico and all those people. Like I love the way like the New Yorkers guy, the New Yorkers page 2, Benji, he's mad cool. Love that kid. And like I like the way these people present New York. They show everything, show the diversity. And that's kind of what I want to be. I want to be somebody who, that's why I came up with the Italian stuff, because that was a big influence in my life. Like my whole act is the fact that I sound Italian and I look like this, but I also look like I could be Jewish. I put the yarmulke on. I'm Jewish. People like, look at this guy. Looks like Adam Sandler. It's funny. I met Sandler twice. It was the greatest experience ever. I met him during COVID. Okay. I drove you know Valducci's Pizza? You've heard of Valducci's? It's a famous pizza truck. Very fucking good pizza. It's old school. This crazy guy Mike owns it. That guy's a lunatic. He's a good guy though. But anyway, this guy does like big shit. He's got the company for 45 years. He does all the movie sets. That was one of the jobs. I drove a pizza truck. So I would go onto these things, and one day he calls me up. He's like, "Yo, Tony, what are you doing right now? We're going to Long Island. It's for Sandler. I'm sorry." He goes, "It's for a Netflix movie, Adam Sandler." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Do you have the vaccine?" Unfortunately, I did. We can cut that out too. No, but like I had the vaccine. I ended up doing the COVID test. I get on set. Sandler's there. His wife's there. His kid, I don't know if his wife was there actually. Sandler was there. I think his wife was there. His kids were there on the truck making Zeppelis with me. It was fucking surreal. Sandler comes up to the truck. I was wearing a mask. This is before I started comedy again. I was working with my brother, and this was like in 2000. When did he film The Hustlers? I think this was in like 2000. When he was filming the movie The Hustlers.
2020?
I forgot when. But it was for that movie. He comes outside. He goes, "Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm Adam." He introduced himself to me as if like
You don't know.
like I don't know him. Like
Filmed in 2021.
boom. That's when
2022.
So that's when I went there. It was around that time.
Yeah.
So I met Sandler, and it was just like I wanted to say something. I wanted to do the impressions. I wanted to do the characters, but it wasn't the right time. It was just I was serving fucking 150 people. I was doing it all by myself. I served 150 people by myself in 1 hour. That's how fast I am. I'm like a stupid fast worker, bro. That's one thing about me. I'm like a comedian and entertainer, but I'll go back there and I'll fucking cook just as good as your best worker you've had for 20 years. I'm like a real chef. That's one thing about me that, I love to cook, big on food, cook everything. I'm a big barbecue guy, make a lot of healthy dishes taste good, big on garlic and shit. But when I met Sandler, I'm like so over.
Big on garlic and shit.
Big on garlic. It's good for your cock. Makes
And
it
this is man, I borderline have a headache.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm like, there's a lot to digest right now.
I'm not a normal person.
You had to have done a salesman job.
Oh, I was working for the MCA guys. I was working for like people like that. At one point, I was working for like I did leasing company. I did fucking stockbroker things. I've done, bro. I can't
Health
even.
insurance. You ever do the dip in there?
I did something similar to that. To be honest with you, I can't even remember how many jobs I've had. I just always know that I went back and forth between ice cream. I'll come up with a bunch more in my head when I think about it. But the Sandler thing, like if I ever met Sandler again, he'd remember that because he invited me back again. And I did the same thing again. I did another movie shoot with him, same week, same shoot, but still wasn't the right opportunity to say something. But everybody in my comments, every single day, comments Sandler, Uncut Gems, Bobby Boucher,
definitely. Yeah.
minimum 20 times a day.
I could see an opportunity presenting itself.
Something's going to happen with that. I think that it would be mad funny if me and him did the Zohan too. Because I can throw kicks. I'm mad nasty.
This is where your kung fu comes into play.
I look like Sandler's cousin.
You could definitely be a stand-in. Shout out Mario Bosco. You could definitely be Sandler stand-in.
Stand-in.
I don't know how tall he is, but
no, I mean, listen, our paths will cross down the road, but I love Sandler and how his ability to like navigate this business in a very like unbiased way. I want to just, like you said, what made me get more into the Italian stuff. That's who I was raised around. That's a big portion of my culture, and I'm just as Arab as I am Italian, as I am Spanish, as I am New Yorker, as I am like a worldly
as you
person.
are ice cream truck driver.
Yeah, I love everything. I'm fucking silly with it. You know
Bro, I did not expect this at all.
Yeah.
Listen, you'll see my special one day. It'll come out. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see me in handcuffs somewhere. Tony, I knew that guy was unstable.
Yeah, that's so funny. I think we should do some skits.
We should do
Let's
some
do it.
skits.
It's time. Tony
All right,
D.
so guys, check out Tony D on social media.
I'm going to be on the road next month. If anyone wants to come see my shows, I'm going to be.
plug in.
What you got coming up?
I'm going to show you. Hold on one second. I'm going to plug it right now. I got some really cool shows. Where are these fucking shows?
This episode's probably coming out October 13th.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. October 12th, I'm going to be at the Broadbrook Opera House, which they were going to miss that. Friday, I'm going to be at the Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th, I'm going to be at Rhode Island Comedy Connections. And then the 25th and 26th, I'm going to be at the Dojo in Jersey. opening for Fenoya. I'm gonna be doing like a 25-minute spot, so it's a dope set.
So let's check him out, people.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, listen, we're rooting for you. Good luck every day.
Dude, I'm rooting for you guys for digesting this for me. I'm hoping you guys can, like, I appreciate you dealing with me because I'm kind of like
Check my
retarded.
pockets 50 times.
No, I'm not a thief anymore, but seriously. No,
We'll double check.
check.
All right, guys, follow Tony on social media. Let's go.
Yeah, very
Thanks,
good.
Tony.
I'm very excited to be here. Very good. See you later, everybody. Take care.